You have power, but you don't have power when it comes to manifestation. So Richard here, and in this video, I want to explain why, in reality, you're actually powerless when it comes to manifesting your goals and achieving your goals in general. We really don't have any sort of control or power over reality. We don't have any form of control other than the way that I'm gonna share with you in this video. So you're powerless, but you're not actually powerless either. And I'm gonna dive deeper into what this all means. Before I get into it, if you wanna get access to my free ebook, I put the link in the description below. Go down there in the description and click that link so you can get your free copy.
So how much power do you actually possess when you're manifesting your goals? And in order to understand what this all means, we must first dissect the term power and what that means to different people, because I've noticed that that term can mean different things to different people. We can perceive it differently. So you would hear people say, you're the creator, so act like one. You're the creator of your own reality, so you must act like a creator and take responsibility because you're the creator. You hear that pretty often if you're familiar with the law of attraction and the lingo that everyone typically has when they talk about the law of attraction. The second phrase would be, you can literally create your entire reality. You will hear people say that all the time. Yeah, well, you can literally manifest your dreams. You can literally create anything that you want. You can create absolutely anything. And obviously that phrase, it sounds encouraging. It sounds motivational, right? But it's actually very vague. You'll find that when you're first beginning with the law of attraction, you don't really think about these things because you're so new to all of the information that you're being exposed to that you don't inquire deeper into what create your reality actually means. You don't question what the term creator actually means. How much can you manifest? How much control do you actually have over your reality? And the third phrase that I typed up here is, it all starts from you. You control your life. That's something that I would also hear. Essentially, it's all saying the same thing, but it's phrased differently. There are different ways that people say it. And from here, I interpret this phrase as, it starts from you because the vibration that you emit, the actions that you take, the things that you think, is what's going to come back to you in the future. You also hear people say that it all starts from your inner world, and it's all reflected out into your outer world and your life circumstances. So there are many different ways to say it, right? And I believe that it's all true. It's not that it's false, but it's that it's vague. The true meaning can only be discovered if you keep asking why and what these phrases actually mean. So that's something that's very important to understand. It's that these phrases, they're not wrong, but they're not giving you the full answer. And I'm sure that even the people who say these phrases probably don't even know the full answer. And maybe I don't know the full answer, but this is just what I've learned throughout the years of just research and self-inquiry. And I hope that this can help you as well. So yes, these phrases aren't necessarily wrong, and they're generally correct, right? However, this does not mean that people don't take these phrases out of proportion. Specifically, the words create and control speak out to me the most. So you hear what I said earlier, the phrases, they revolve around the terms create and control. You can control your life. You can literally create your entire reality. You are the creator, so act like one. The two terms create and control speak out the most to me. Why? It's because some people have been led to believe that you can truly control and create your life out of thin air. And some people will say, okay, well, what's wrong with this phrase? Nothing. There's nothing wrong with this phrase. But it's just how people interpret the phrase and how they go about life with this phrase in mind. So while the words aren't objectively a big deal, it will cause some people to become over-controlling. And this over-controlling tendency causes them to create inner resistance, the feelings of frustration, the feelings of needing to have your own way with your own circumstances or an endeavor that you may be going for in your life. And thus, obstacles show up that are outside their control. So, to further explain that, when you're attached to anything in life, in particular, when you're attached to wanting to control a circumstance or have your way with something, and you feel that you need to have your way, obstacles will always show up. And there are many intricate reasons for this that I probably don't even know myself. But what I do know is that they always show up whenever you're emotionally attached. And a good way to know when you're attached is when you feel that you're depending on something external for a sense of fulfillment within you. That's a good way to know when you're attached. And when you're attached, those obstacles always tend to show up, no matter what happens. And that's what being over-controlling does, and it only creates problems in your life. That is what the term control does to some people. It leads people to believe that they can physically control each and every element of their life. Through physical means, they're led to believe that they can control everything through physical means. So they become very over-controlling. And the thought that they have if they don't get their way is, oh, well, people have told me that I can literally control my reality. So because something didn't work, they question, oh, well, am I really the creator? Am I the controller of my reality? Aren't these people just lying to me? This is a scam. They've lied to me. And so they misinterpret what that phrase actually meant. They don't understand what create and control truly means, and how far does that actually go for you. So then they just assume it's a scam, or they just give up on the law of attraction and they forget about this. Now, when it comes to the term create, a subtle mental block is thinking that you'll need to create things in your life. And what I mean by create is literally spawning things out of thin air. So you will even hear people say, you can create your whole life. You can create anything that you want to manifest. And I'm going to dissect what create actually means, just so you can understand better, and it's going to give you a lot of clarity. But before that, the term create does create this mental block, especially when it comes to creating a specific person, which you're not actually creating them. Or it can be a large sum of money. Whenever you're going through a financial difficulty or you're in financial uncertainty and you feel the need to create this unexpected sum of money, it can arouse a lot of uncertainty and doubt within you, because there's a lot more resistance attached to the term create in most cases, because your mind is thinking of, like, how the fuck is it gonna create something out of thin air? Like, that's what your mind is thinking. That is what it's interpreting the term as. Your mind is gonna go, how can I possibly create this out of thin air? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all, because it's just not humanly possible. But after years of looking into this, I've realized that you're not creating or manifesting your reality at all. Yes, you're not really creating things, because you're not spawning things out of thin air. And you're not manifesting things, because manifest is typically associated with the word create. And so if you're not creating things, if you're not spawning things out of thin air, then clearly you're not manifesting things either. So what are you actually doing? And what you're doing is that you're choosing your reality. You're not creating it. You're not manifesting it. You're choosing your reality. So what does that mean? Essentially, there's an infinite number of potential realities that you can manifest. Whatever you can think of, it's possible. Whether it happens 10 years from now, or whether it happens in your next lifetime, it's all possible, because it's infinite. It's as infinite as it can be. And those possibilities exist. Now, all you're doing is choosing the reality that you want via your worldview and your own core identity, your self-concept. Those things influence the reality that you ultimately choose, whether it's an unconscious choice or a conscious choice, right? When you make a decision while incorporating your logical mind, your belief system, and your heart, which ties back to your emotions, and when those two things are in complete alignment, then you will move towards that reality, or some people call it a lifeline. This new mindset significantly reduces the resistance which the controlling and the creating mindset produces. Because instead you're not trying to create something, and you're not trying to control things. All you're doing is choosing a new reality that you would like to move towards without trying to control your external reality, or without trying to spawn things out of thin air. And to do this, you cultivate your own internal identity. And obviously how to do that is an entirely different video in itself. But in short, when you do align your mind and your heart together, and when that is in complete alignment, then you're gonna start moving towards that reality. What I mean by move towards is that you're gonna discover opportunities that help you get to that reality. And sure, yes, you'll have to be open-minded, right? But those opportunities will be there. You'll begin taking action towards that naturally. And then you will begin making a lot more progress than you've been making previously. You will even meet new people. You'll discover unexpected opportunities. Things of that nature. You're gonna start moving towards that reality or lifeline. You're powerless when you adopt the control and creating mindset because A, you can't control reality at all. In fact, the more you try is the more you'll realize how powerless you actually are, to put it bluntly. And the elements of this world are just outside our physical means of control. You can't control everything physically. You can't do it with physical means. And B, you're not creating things out of thin air. You're not. All you're doing is bringing in the components into your orbit via the frequency that you're vibrating, or the self-concept you have about yourself. You're essentially attracting the components needed to get to your goal. This is all done by choosing your reality, as opposed to trying to create things and control things. Your power lies not in control or creating, but in your ability to choose your desired life and minimizing the need for control and the importance towards having control, which in fact grants you control over your life. So what I mean to say right now is that you're not actually powerless, okay? I just titled the video that way so you can click. But at the same time, if you act in accordance to needing control and trying to create your reality, then you actually do reduce the amount of power that you have, because now you're trying to control this physical construct. And I'm not sure if it'll be possible in the future, but right now, that's not possible for humans. We can't physically control everything. But when you let go of control, and when you change your mindset to choosing what you would like to experience, and taking actions towards that, but also aligning your heart and your mind together, then you'll naturally move towards that reality in the way of least resistance, right? That is where your control is, and that is where your power is. The only way to acquire control over your life is when you begin to not attempt to control your life. So you're controlling your life in a non-controlling way, if that makes sense. So control isn't the way people would normally perceive it when it comes to manifesting their goals. It's very backwards. But once you grasp that concept, manifesting your goals is going to become a lot easier, and it's just going to accelerate the whole process. If you found this video helpful, be sure to leave a like. And subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. If you want to see me make a video, and if there is enough demand for it, be sure to comment that down in the description below. And remember, if you want to get access to my free ebook, which goes into the 4 manifestation techniques that I found to be the most helpful for me, go down in the description and click that link to take your manifestation practice to the next level. See you next time. Peace.